Welcome to the Universal Love Story. I am Lauren K. Wyatt, love psychic, illusion dismantler, and owner of Love Renegades. In this episode, you are going to learn all about the law of control. This is the law of love that separates you from love by making it really, really hard to let go and not really being able to roll with the punches. This law of love is all about dominance and taking charge, which are wonderful things, just not when they're keeping you from having what you want. In this episode, you are going to become aware of how you can break the law of control and have that love and that support that you desire in your relationships and in your love life. What does that dream relationship look and feel like to you?
I think my dream relationship feels like vulnerable, loving, passionate. Yeah, I think blissful is like the perfect word.
I love it. And I love that you said that vulnerability was a huge part of what you wanted in your relationships, because the victim card here speaks so much to that. The information that I'm telling you right now, this actually comes from one of your guides, and this guide came into your life when you were around the age of 7. Always have like that core knowing of what your intention is. Before you take on a role or do your shape-shifting thing, take a step back, go into your center, remind yourself, this relationship is bliss to me.
I mean, in the past, I've always been the one to keep the peace or harmonize, like you said, but also like fix, just to get it done and over with.
And that hinders the healing opportunity and the vulnerability that you said you wanted.
Yeah.
If you want to have an incredible relationship and break free of the law of control, what you first must do is connect with your heart. Your heart can really clue you in to exactly what it is that you want. Not what other people have told you you should want, what society demands that you should want, but authentically what you want. And most people who are affected by the law of control, they have a really hard time letting people love and support them because they feel like they must be in charge. And what this does is it really blocks these people from their heart. So part of breaking free and breaking the law of control is by connecting with your heart center and really owning what it is that you want and acknowledging that, yes, I might get to release control and allow others to support me. Tell us about some prospects for dating.
Well, the prospects I think you're talking about are friends that I've already had, that I had friend zoned like years ago, and I've always thought they were really nice. They've never actively tried to date me, but I made it clear that I didn't want to date them, so they just kind of left it alone, left it there. But I've been, and we communicate, I communicate with both of them, the opposite sex, frequently anyways, but it's progressively gotten more frequent, and the conversations have gotten more interesting. They've gone deeper, and I'm learning more about both of them. But it's really opened my eyes to knowing that there have always been possibilities, I've just not allowed them to be possibilities. And whether or not these two people, one or the other, I end up dating or not, it has allowed me to be able to open my heart to receive love and be more intimate with our communication.
So are you going to verbalize that there's a part of you that's interested?
I don't know.
The reason why it's coming up is because energetically you had them friend zoned,
Yeah, I did.
and now like you want to hang out as friends.
Right.
So
Well, it's been friends.
what this is doing
Mm-hmm.
is, since you said like that you've noticed that you've been controlling in relationships,
Yeah.
while I love that you can call the shots, it's really putting you in charge, and it's not really giving him an opportunity to like step up
Mm-hmm.
and be a guy that you would like to date.
Well, I mean, I definitely want to get to know them better now in a different circumstance versus the way it was before. Before I was so closed off and short, and now I feel like
Can you
I wanna continue
voice
that.
that since these are friends?
yes.
Just that, like not like, I'm open to dating you.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying do that. And then that's like, whoa, that creates possibility.
Yeah.
Instead of just, asking them to hang out. It's like, whoa, okay, is she interested? Is she not? I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because these are people you're friends with, so they probably
Well,
don't
but
want
I've kissed them both now.
Okay, well, good.
So I think that's made it clear
Yeah,
that
that's a very direct communication that you're interested.
I think so.
Like, where would you like to be maybe like in 3 months?
I want to be in a relationship in
Okay.
3 months. I mean, it was all very clear to me. I mean, I already knew that, like, I had abandonment issues coming up. I knew that I had issues coming up with mostly the abandonment stuff, but it was interesting that you knew it was so clear, because I knew it was perfectly clear. I knew that's what has been coming up for me.
Cool.
Like, totally. But what came up for me after that was when you were like, okay, take a bath, meditate. Well, I didn't do that, but
Your own version.
I was like, okay, I'm going to make a pro and con list of this one specific person, because this was something that I talked about in my video. And I think that,
guy?
yeah.
Okay.
So I think that this is like a good example of maybe not just this relationship with this person or friendship, but like what is holding me back all around. So what came up with that was I made a pro and cons list of this person, and I got clarity out of that on what that was stirring up for me.
Cool. So that's awesome. And what clarity did you create from that? What's coming up?
So some stuff that came up was definitely rejection, because I knew the abandonment thing was super obvious for me, but rejection for sure, because that's always been like one of my biggest fears, was feeling rejected. And I feel like I've put myself out there when I wasn't even into this person in the first place.
So
And
there's some resentment.
yeah,
Yeah, like, okay, cool.
yeah, totally.
Good to just acknowledge it,
Yeah.
right?
So I'm like, wow, I wasn't even interested in this person in the first place. Then I put myself out there. I feel like that was good because I got to know that person, and I feel like we do have a lot in common, but I did realize that there was a lot that we'd never touched base on. But in the process of that, there had been lack of communication as far as like constant communication. I addressed it. Basically was dismissed when I brought it up. Like very apologetic, but I'm noticing that the words from this person are not matching their actions.
Okay.
And that
This is a big thing for you.
yeah, that is really, I'm like, okay, I'm done, I'm checked out.
in order to create space for that new relationship and for more things that you love, because remember, there's no coincidence
Yeah,
that this stuff is happening,
No,
even in the area of especially in the area of friendships.
absolutely.
Now, onto the romantic side of things, what action would you like to do there? Because you're doing good, you're making waves in the friend, like you're letting friends go, you're...
Romantic action, what do I need to do there? I mean, I don't have any prospects or anything right now. I feel like I've gone through like this whole year. I'm like, okay,
Have you ever made an online profile?
oh, I'm so not into that. Actually, me and this friend of mine, we just talked about that the other day. He was like,
Have you?
So-
Have you?
no, because I like to meet people organically. Like,
Sure. No, I get it.
No.
So,
One time in Australia for 24 hours, and I was like, this is
That's
crazy.
awesome.
I'm not into it.
because it was in Australia.
It was just weird.
Well, so just look at it in this way.
Mhm.
When we do things that are new, we create new results.
Right.
Now, I wouldn't say like just do it like fuck it, who cares? But like if you really like put your gifts of order and truth into it, and you know what your best relationship is, and
Right.
you know what balance is, like why not just...
Because I'm not desperate. I feel like people that go on those are like, because they can't find anyone else, because they don't go out,
So
they don't
this
socialize.
is a belief.
Well, yeah, but also from like experience, because I know a ton of friends and clients that have been on there, and it's because they have a hard time socializing or
So none of these things are true for you. You're wonderful socializing.
Right.
You're great at making friends.
right.
So it would be a new avenue.
But I meet people so easily, anyways. It's like I'm already turning and burning. Really.
This would be totally new though. And it is outside your comfort zone.
It's outside my comfort zone, also because I know so many people from the industries that I've been
So
in. Here.
is this like worried about what people think?
No, not that. It's more or less that I don't want to see other people on there.
So with Bumble, you get to choose who you want to talk to.
I know everyone can see your profiles, and I can see everyone's profiles.
I'm not really understanding what the resistance is. It sounds...
Because I feel like dating apps are silly, and I'm not as... I just feel like it's so beneath me.
Okay. What if there's a possibility that somebody great
Is on there.
that you could, if that is like the mechanism in which you meet someone? Or what if just by creating a profile you meet somebody at the grocery store?
I do not want to make an online profile. It's so cheesy. I don't want that to be part of my love story. Like, I made a Bumble account and I found my...
So you're like micromanaging
Yes, because
your
I feel like
love
it's
story.
so
You
lame.
said you wanted to release control.
I know it's so lame. I don't want to be like everyone else's story. I want to have my own story. Yeah, but I'm willing to wait if I can find someone naturally and organically.
This is just a perfect way to release control and to still be responsible.
Oh my god, no, I just can't even do it. There's no way. No, there's no way. I know a lot of people. Like a lot of people.
Are you just like worried people would think
No, because I
that...
have clients and friends that come in and they're like, oh, I'm interested in this person. I've like seen them, dated them. Like, I know all their friends. Like, they're like, hey, do you know this person? We have 55 mutual friends. Yep, know them and all the people that they know. They're like, people always tell me I'm the person that's always the, what's it called?
You're such a networker.
I'm
you
the-
have that archetype.
I'm the middleman that on all the dating apps, when people go on them, it says, oh, mutual friend is always me. And I'm like, oh God, I can only imagine if I called them myself. I'm like,
It
no.
would be kind of fun.
It would be like a game. I don't
game
want my
that-
love life to be a game.
There's something that we all have, and it's called a comfort zone. And our comfort zone looks totally different for everyone depending on the person. Britni's comfort zone is actually quite large. She's done a lot of traveling. She's somebody who's definitely an action taker, and she's open to making changes, and she's really, really receptive to what she needs to do to have what it is that she wants. Except for when it's really time to step outside of her very big comfort zone. And what we've seen is it's online dating. And this is actually quite an emotional area for a lot of people, and I completely understand why. However, Britni has done several things. She's gone on a lot of dates. She's open to really transforming her life and making changes, but things don't seem to be changing. When that is what's happening, it's time to really make a change. And most often, it's something that you really you don't want to do it. It seems really inconvenient, and your junior, that's my word for ego, will give you all sorts of reasons on why you should not step out of your comfort zone. And that's exactly what we see playing out here.
In the love department, I finally had like not a full conversation, but a conversation, I guess, with one of my friends that I was open to being, having a romantic relationship with. And I was just vulnerable and honest and authentic, and I didn't get a response. So that kind of, without saying anything, that kind of said a lot.
So what I want you to do, take these cards and shuffle them.
Yes.
And I want you to connect with the energy of what you want your time to be like with this person. This card that says Master on it, this symbolizes the boxes that we can put ourselves in. And the confinement we can choose because we're afraid to go outside of our box or to take any kind of a risk. So you are the master, the creator of your experience.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be in a cage. I'm being guided just to tell you, give you an idea and see how often do you ever just let a guy know when you're available and ask him to
Never.
plan the date? That would be an opportunity of being loving and trusting. And for you, like there are a few different ones that you play in, but the law of dominance is something that comes up
Yeah.
a lot. And you are a leader and you're very planning, and it's not hard for you to do things, but you also, a huge thing for you is to surrender and to let other people step up.
So there's something called the ebb and the flow. It's also known as expansion and contraction. This is just how things work. It's universal law. And what we're noticing right now with Britni is that she is in the ebb of the flow that she's been experiencing recently. And the flow, of course, is when we're in action, things are popping up, we're moving, things are flowing, and then all of a sudden it's like, and there can be drama, chaos, or absolutely nothing is happening. And this can be a very frustrating area. It can also lead a lot of people to give up and not have what they want. And this area is also the ebb part of the flow. It's also something that you can really practice welcoming and embracing, because it's a time to really be honest with yourself and to connect with your heart and ask, what do I need to do differently? What do I need to let go of? And what do I need to say yes to? What has been coming up over and over again that I keep dismissing because it goes against who my junior thinks that I am or what I stand for? And if you can be honest with yourself, then you can also be courageous, you can be tenacious, and you can be powerful and step up and make a new choice.
So last time I was here, I was adamant about not getting on the dating apps and that I wanted to meet someone organically. And I was pretty gung-ho about that for like the first day after I left here. Mm-hmm. And then I was with a friend, we were like wedding dress shopping and stuff, and everyone was talking about their relationships, and I was like, you know what? I kind of asked their experience on, had they been on dating apps, and they had. And I was like, you know what? Ego out the door, just, let's just give it a shot. So it was really weird the first 24 hours. And then I kind of got into it, like really deep into it for like another 24 hours after that. And like the very first person I matched with is still to this day, 2 weeks later, the one I'm most interested in. And we've been talking since then.
So what did you discover about yourself?
I discovered that the people that I actually attracted on there are people that didn't want to utilize dating apps either, which was interesting.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and they all kind of wanted to meet people organically as well. But what I learned about myself was that obviously I don't always know everything. Darn it.
It feels like you had a breakthrough in power, which
Yeah.
is very different from control.
Power and self-worth, I think.